What's good? What's good? It's the one, the only, but what do I know? Boxing coming back at y'all with another one, man. So we got Shakur and Floyd Schofield in the news. I'm gonna talk about both of them, man, because I was asked this question, and I kind of want to speak on this anyways. The question was, did Floyd Schofield duck Shakur Stevenson? Now, if you guys don't know, Shakur Stevenson was set to face William Zepeda in February of next year, but William Zepeda, quote unquote, and I do say quote unquote, had an injury with his hand. I personally, I don't believe it. And I understand that he had a picture with a sling, but just like I just like in my old video, I dropped the picture like when Wilder said that he had broke his hand, and y'all saying, oh, he's making more excuses, and I showed proof that he actually had a cast and everything, and y'all sat there and said, well, it doesn't mean that he really broke his hand. He could have got that. He could have got that. You know, he could have paid a doctor to get it. Well, guess what? I'm gonna say the same thing about William Zepeda. Now what? Do something. Anyways, so William Zepeda was not ready to, or not going to be able to fight in February. So Shakur Stevenson then went and called out Floyd Schofield and said, hey, let's go ahead and make a fight. All right, now it's Floyd Schofield. They did respond. Actually, Floyd Schofield actually hit Shakur up first and was saying like, hey, bro, if, you know, since what you call it stepping out, man, I'll be glad to step in and fill in that day for you. Me and you can make a fight. So, you know, Shakur hit him back like, hey, shit, hit up your promoter. Let's make this happen. So after that was done, Oscar De La Hoya replied with this message right here on his Clapback Thursdays.
News. Shakur Stevenson versus William Zepeda was all set to happen until William injured his hand while fighting Tevin Farmer last weekend. Bruh. So you would naturally think Shakur would start targeting, I don't know, a Frank Martin or a Murataya, some other world champion, right? No. Shakur and Lone Samedi made an offer to my 22-year-old prospect, Kid Austin, who has no world championship experience.
Come on, man.
This is exactly what I mean when I say Eddie doesn't know how to build a career. Look, Bob Arum built Shakur Stevenson to become a world champion. And in his first fight with Matchroom, you actually want to put him in with a prospect, Eddie?
Come on now, dog.
I didn't think it could get any lower for you, but it does.
Now, I'm going to start off with what De La Hoya ended off with. Floyd Schofield is not a prospect. He's a contender, actually. He's ranked number 2 in the WBA and ranked number 6 in the WBO, I believe. So since that's not a prospect status, that's a contender status, and he's been knocking on the door begging for a world title opportunity. Okay, now I will say this though. Now I'm gonna keep it one. I gotta keep it 100. De La Hoya is not a fan of like allowing fighters of early time like that are young to fight somebody that like a seasoned vet, right? Even though Shakur is not like, I'll put it like this. I do remember before they made before they made Canelo versus Mayweather, it was like in December. It was like December of 2012. Might have been either November or December of 2012. De La Hoya had an interview, and they was asking De La Hoya like, "Hey, would you be comfortable matching Canelo up with Mayweather?" And I promise you, I remember De La Hoya was like, "Nah." He was like, "Nah, Canelo's too young. He's not ready for a Mayweather fight yet. That's not the direction that I would really want him to go." So I will say that De La Hoya is not a fan of matching his fighters up too soon. But what I also have to say though to De La Hoya is like, why would Shakur go fight Frank Martin? First of all, Frank Martin is coming off of a knockout loss. He's coming off a knockout loss, and like that doesn't, why would he fight Frank Martin? You know what I'm saying? Now I can understand him unifying with the other champion, the IBF champion or whatnot. But see, the only thing about that is Keyshawn Davis is guaranteed a spot at that. He's not guaranteed because nothing is guaranteed in boxing, but he's in line. I think he's like number 1 for that title opportunity or whatnot. And if you know, Keyshawn and Shakur are super close or whatnot. Shakur is not going to step on Keyshawn's foot, so that's an opportunity that they have already talked about with Keyshawn fighting the IBF, not the IBF, the WBO, I believe. No, because which one does Which one is Lomachenko? I think the IBF. I think it is the IBF. I'm not sure. You guys correct me in the comment. It's not Vasily Lomachenko. It's that dude name I can't even pronounce. But Keyshawn Davis is in line to fight for that title. One of those titles, anyways. But so it doesn't make sense. And De La Hoya said his name, but it doesn't. Shakur's not gonna do that or whatnot. But what is wrong with Shakur calling the fight Floyd Schofield? I mean, Floyd Schofield has made his name based off of talking about sparring sessions that he's had with these current world champions. Floyd Schofield has said he hurt and wobbled Devin Haney. He said that he beat up Tank Davis. He said that he beat up Shakur Stevenson. He said that who was another fighter that I don't think it was Abdullah Mason, but it was some other. No, it wasn't Keyshawn either. But he said that he's made his name, he made his name attaching his name to all these credible, fighters or whatnot. So, bro, it's time that he has to prove himself now, bro. And he's ranked high enough. So it's like, bro, he has to prove himself and make a name for it. And now, he has to back up those words that he was talking. And I put it like that because it's like it's too late to be saying that he's not ready for Shakur. I mean, like the man is ranked high, so I say go ahead and make the fight happen. Make the fight happen. I mean, because like who else? I mean, I just feel like he's not gonna get any more prepared than what he is now. And when I say he, I'm talking about Floyd Schofield. That's my opinion. So to answer the question, I mean, because like I said, who is he gonna fight that's going to prepare him any more for Shakur than what he's already, or any world champion at that matter. But what I will say though, to answer the question, I don't think that we can say Floyd Schofield himself ducked Shakur because Floyd wants that fight. Now, what can happen is Floyd can pretty much tell De La Hoya, like, hey, bro, listen, I want this fight, make this fight. That's the fight that I want. And De La Hoya will then have to make the fight, or he can shelf him. And so you're kind of rolling the dice on that. But if De La Hoya, who is they said, Floyd Schofield Sr. said that they're going to listen to what De La Hoya has to say. So if De La Hoya does not feel like he's ready yet, and they're the one that's pulling the plug, I don't know if I would say Floyd Schofield is ducking him, but I will say Golden Boy did not want that fight. So, and you could take that how you want to take it, however you want to take that information, take it how you want. But, we definitely have to say that Golden Boy did not want the fight or want to make the fight. It's Golden Boy's fault. It's Floyd Schofield's team's fault why this fight is not happening. Because Shakur is all in it. And he wants to make that fight right away. So, that's just my take on that. That's my opinion on that. Now, as far as what Shakur can do next, I'm not sure. Vasily Lomachenko is kind of going on his break. I don't know what to call what he's doing. Let me see, what options does Shakur have? Let's look up the rankings for Shakur's WBC title. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at this. 135. Oh, hey man, listen, a rumor fight sidebar that's been said. It's rumored that Gary Antoine Russell is gonna fight Rayo Venezuela. I hope that fight happens. But anyways, all right. So in the WBC, you got Shakur as the champion, of course. William Zepeda the interim, but he's injured, quote unquote. You got Raymond Maratilla, whatever his last name is. So, I mean, I'm looking at it right now, and there's not really any big names that's going to stick out. Okay, so Vasily Lomachenko is the IBF champion, okay. So that means then the Denzi Bernchek guy is the WBO, yep. And Keyshawn Davis is ranked number 1 for that title. So, I mean, I'm going to be honest with you. Shakur really doesn't have too many options to make a big fight at 135 pounds. So, I could pretty much guarantee his next fight is not going to be a huge fight. But if it's on the card of the Saudis, then, you know, hey, it is what it is. There's a lot more fights. That's not a big deal, you know, because Zepeda doesn't really want to fight him, and De La Hoya doesn't want to put Floyd Schofield in there with him. Oh my goodness. So, you know, good luck to Shakur. I don't know. He doesn't have too many options. I mean, unless if he moves up to 140 and try to snag a title in the 4th division. But anyways, let me know what you guys think. Make sure you guys like, comment, subscribe. But what do I know?